something that will help you on your coding journey is to be curious. You want to know why things work the way it does. But when I first started, I wasn't naturally curious about coding. So in this video, I'm going to talk to you about tips on how you can become curious when you code. My name's David, and I'm a freelance web developer, currently filming this video from Seoul, South Korea, as I'm doing some traveling throughout Asia. And I was actually at the coffee shop working all day, editing this new course I'm creating on the foundations of programming, and it kind of to help fix this problem of being curious as well. Because when I was starting to code, I use Free Code Camp a lot, the YouTube videos from Free Code Camp, and then I'll go on it, and then they'll talk about how, okay, this is how you add in Python, this is how you minus in Python, this is how you create a variable, and it just felt like things were going by the book. This is how you do this, this is how you do that, and that made it just feel kind of boring. I would do it, but never really understand why. Like, why do I even want to add? Why do I even want to create a variable in my code? So it just felt busy work. It just felt like I had to push through it, like I had to memorize information. But I knew I wanted to pursue a career in coding, so I pushed through it. And then it wasn't really until I worked with other people where I got more curious about coding. And when I took my coding bootcamp, I saw people like questioning things, why things were working the way it does. And it also gave me the opportunity to question someone about why things work the way they did, because maybe they didn't explain the point of things. So I got to ask my instructor, ask other people about it. When I was just following YouTube tutorials, I didn't really have anyone to ask me questions. I could have asked questions on the YouTube comments and the forums, but it's kind of inconvenient. So by interacting with other people, working with other people firsthand, I could have like a expression of my curiosity with other people. And then so I did the boot camp, and by working with other people, it helped me ask more questions that I didn't have the opportunity to do so before. I was also impressed when I was working as an apprenticeship program, an apprentice for my first job. And during this, I worked with my mentor on a project. We pair programmed on a project, and I was doing something, showing him something, and it didn't work. And errors were coming out. And I noticed something different from him. And he was like brilliant, he was good at engineering, years and years of experience. And instead of being frustrated, instead of just staying calm as well, he was curious about the error. He was actually excited by the error. And I've never seen this before. And it just made me open up to like this mindset to approach coding and getting excited, being intrigued, being curious by errors, instead of just problem solve, like it's a job, this is what you do. Learn from it as well. So really interacting with other people is the best way to be curious with code. It's hard to do it in isolation because you don't get to see how other people approach coding. Just the instructor tells you this as well. So you want to interact with other people. And then another thing that will help you be curious is that when you do a coding tutorial, you kind of just follow things step by step, like a book. You just do what they give you. But the magic happens when you deviate from the tutorial. You do something else outside of what that tutorial thinks. And then you don't know exactly how it's going to work. So you do something else, and then maybe it breaks, maybe something works. But that's the magic. You have to break things. You have to deviate from the step-by-step, because coding, there's no step-by-step. Do this. You have to problem solve. The steps aren't defined. You have to figure out the steps, and you have to be curious to figure out the steps as well. I remember when I was a software engineer, and our team got moved from front end to the full stack team, and we got moved on to another project, and everyone was kind of nervous about, like, we weren't sure how it's going to be like on this new team. And our tech lead gave us like a day to gave us time to really understand things, and mentioned how we have to break things to understand when working with a new technology, working with a new code base. So he encouraged us to play around with the new code base, break things for us to understand. And that's how engineers learn. It's not just by reading a book. We have to play with it on our own, break things, connect things, and see what's possible. And by doing this, I was able to learn these new technologies for the new project, and then learn about the new code base as well, and make contribution to it. So to summarize, you want to be in an environment with other people to become more curious, to see how someone else is more curious, and you want to invite them in. That's why interviews are so hard, how they filter so much, because they want someone who's curious, they want someone who learns, because they want to be around that. Because when you're curious, you're going to care about what you're doing, you're going to make the project better. So you want to be around people who is naturally curious in programming to be better. And then also, whenever you do a tutorial, there's like a big blockage point from following along to actually breaking it and doing your own implementations to it. So don't be afraid to deviate from the tutorial after you finish it. Thank you so much. If you are working on a project and need help developing it, I'm a freelancer, so feel free to message me about what you're working on, and I can see how I can help. I also do coding coaching, where I work with you one-on-one to help you get to your coding goals. And also stay tuned for my new course that I just finished uploading it, or I uploaded most of it, and I just need approval from Udemy as well, and I'm excited to share with you all. Thank you so much.